Thank God it's Friday. TGIF. Happy Friday, everybody. I'm Larry the Lion. This is my podcast. Let me turn that down a little bit. Happy Friday, everybody. I got to watch our good friend and my mentor, my brother, Pace Morby speaking yesterday at the Own the Future Challenge, and it was really a great speech this morning when I listened to it on the bus. I didn't listen to it last night. I wasn't able to focus on that last night. I'm just doing my little sharing here to a couple of channels I'm on WhatsApp. I do the community camp channel, Mikey sub 2 group. That's Mikey Carcamo in California, and the multifamily elephant challenge. And then I have just a couple friends there, like Paulina Hurtado and Ella Ray. They're my friends on there, so I share it there. Then I have a few people on Telegram. I share it too. I actually share it there because I have a sub 2 lion and lions Telegram that eventually I'm going to build that team. But I got a lot of work to do all over the place to build things. So it is 12:34. It's Friday. I'm always 2 minutes late. One of these days, I'm going to get that in order too. Let me just share this here, and then I'll share it to my other spots as well. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There we go. Share it there, and then I'm going to go to Facebook and do my sharing. So this morning, really interesting. If you go look at my Instagram or Facebook story, I don't usually stop for coffee because they have a coffee here at the office, and my whole mornings are all messed up right now. I just can't get enough rest. I think I got a little bit of rest last night. I took two melatonin about 3 in the morning. I still wake up like 2 hours later. I mean, I don't know what those things don't even work or whatever, but um, I'm just not getting enough sleep. Just from the whole going to Montana and being at the airport, having to be there early, so because buses don't run, and now I'm back to working the day job that I was the only job that I could take in order to have a job, start the next day, um, tell them that I'm going to go to Montana for a week, and then allow me to do this podcast still, and use their internet on my 15 minutes, my 30-minute break. So, um, I got to do what others aren't willing to do to continue my path and my journey. I'm not saying I'm special. I mean, there's a lot of people in the community that work their day jobs and juggle families. They're doing a lot more than me, but that's I think that speaks about all of us on this journey. Is that you know we're willing to do what others aren't willing to do to change our families' lives, our future. Um, we're willing to take control of our destiny, and create our own fate, as people would say it. But it takes extraordinary discipline. It takes a mindset to overcome the challenges and, not let things, hold you back. And, you have to come that mindset. And Pace was talking about yesterday in the Own Your Future challenge, um, about mindset and how he grew up with a limited mindset. Like we all grew up with limited mindsets, and what we do, we're basically doing what our parents pushed us to do, or somebody else pushed you to do. Maybe your school counselor or your football coach or whoever it was. That you end up doing things that what other people suggested you do or want to do. Most of us don't follow our dreams. We let those dreams go because the people in our families and friends are the ones that'll talk you out of your dreams. And they say, "Oh, that's not possible. You can't do that." or you need to do something. You need to just buckle down and get a job, and don't try and go being an entrepreneur. It's too hard. You know, you and then yourself is going to talk yourself out of it too. But I refuse to let anybody tell me I can't do anything, because like I was talking to Dr. Shaw, Vanessa Shaw, me and her, she was from the community. At the community camp, we rode the Red Line shuttle to the airport at the Glacier Park National Airport. Vanessa was telling me, um, that you know, I kind of forgot where I was going with this for a second, but I'll remember it again. But you have to be willing to do what the other people aren't willing to do. You have to make the sacrifices. You have to overcome your limiting beliefs, regardless what people tell you or yourself tell you. Um, she was really gave me some great insightful. It was kind of like it was at the end of the time. I was just it was just me and her on that shuttle. There was, I mean, there's other people. They weren't in our community though, but it gave us a time to connect and time to listen from wisdom from a doctor. She's a doctor of communication, speech pathology, or something. I can't remember exactly. Sorry, Vanessa Shaw, but it was really great. She got to listen to my full story. I didn't hold anything back. I usually do shorter versions for people. I gave her the full Monty, as they say. um, it, and she was really gave me some great advice. She was like the perfect one I had a chance to connect with and talk to on the ride. She put a lot of things in perspective for me of realizing what I've overcome, where I'm going and what I'm part of, and to embrace that, and embrace the challenges, and overcome those limited mindsets and limiting beliefs. Um, so that was really great. I can't wait to talk to her again. So I haven't been fighting so much the mindset. It's just been fighting time and not having enough time. I haven't even got to do any of my photo dumps because I'm very particular and I'm kind of like anal about things like that. I like them to do them a certain way. I just haven't had the time. I can't do it on the bus because there's so much noise and people, homeless people. God bless them. Pray for them. And it's the announcements are going off. It's freezing in there because it's Florida, and if they don't have the air conditioning, it's so cold in there, the windows fog up and stuff. It's like you have to be tortured to be on a bus here. It's so freaking cold on the buses. But I spend, you know, 2 hours coming in the morning. It's about like an hour and 40 minutes because it moves quicker. They have more buses, but um, at night coming back home, I take a different bus coming back home because it takes 3 hours. So I'm going 5 hours to work for 8 hours, and I can't use my phone while I'm here. And the time that I can use it, I'm dedicated to being consistent with my podcast. Um, like Pace was saying the other day in a Zoom, as long as you're consistent, you're not going to see big results right now. But if you consistently show up, consistently do what you're supposed to do, hey Aaron, you're gonna get the results. You're gonna create what you want to create. But you have to get past these moments. Like Pace was saying, when he started out on his Instagram, he had 300 people, and he would invite people to come to Circle K and go on jobs with him, and go to contractors and look at houses, and nobody showed up the first couple times, right? But then when they started showing up, the police, he got the police calling him at Circle K, and he had to go do this. But he was talking about how he had the incredible opportunity to be a father out of nowhere when him and Laura got married. She had their son Asher, and how he played catch with him. And I did get a little misty eyed listening to that on the bus this morning. But the thing is that the biggest takeaway is what Pace was saying. Everything you want is on the other side of yes. You just have to say yes to overcoming the fears, overcoming the mindset, overcoming limiting beliefs, overcoming what other people want for you to do, and what you want for yourself. You have to say yes to the challenges, yes to the opportunities. Um, and that could be interpreting it all wrong, or maybe not. Maybe it's just you're meant to interpret each thing for yourself, and that's where I'm at. Just right now, just don't have enough time. I need an assistant, a virtual assistant. I need maybe someone to help with social media, managing. There's so many things I need to do, and there's just only one of me, and there's just not enough time. And I created these problems, um, all of these problems, but they're all opportunities at the same time. There's room for growth. There's um, developing patience, and a lot of you can't just look at the negatives of the problem, like I don't have enough time, I'm riding the bus and stuff. Like, you have to see past those and figure out how you can make this work, how you can do better, how you can share more. And what was the one thing you were saying about being inspirational? You never know who you're going to inspire or encourage or have somebody believe in you. Like he was saying, the lady that she was blind. He walked around the corner. She was standing there blind. He almost bumped into her, and she had the cane with her daughter. And she said good morning to him. And I'm probably losing his translation of his story, but she could sense the warmth in Pace's voice when her daughter said to her, "Hey, he's smiling, Mom." She's like, I know, I can feel it." And that's what we get from Pace. We get the value and the time that he gives us. And there's so much incredible opportunity and people in this community that he's built. Um, I wouldn't be sitting here without this community. I wouldn't have done a lot of things without the support of this community, like all the people that helped me. And our community wouldn't be helping in child trafficking like it is. Um, we had so many people that we raised 500,000 in an hour at the dinner on last Friday. I can't believe it's been a week since that, where we were at Bob Norton's house, and we had the dinner at his farm there. It's got, like, I think he's got 80 acres there. For, I don't know, a lot of, it's big. He's got a lot of land, but we had that opportunity to bond as a community, to show our love and show our compassion, to help those victims of child trafficking, to rescue children, and I'm really going to lean into that as one of my passions, is to continue to promote the rescue fund, along with other things I'm promoting, like the subtube community. I'm an example of what is possible by being part of this community, by choosing to trust God and um, lead with value, and give back and inspire people. I have a lot of people that reach out to me now, and I don't even have time to talk to and help each one of those people that ask me for help now. And it's kind of, I I originally just started this podcast because I don't know why I started. It was because Get Creative with Abraham and Pace, the very first one in December. I started this on December 22nd, a few days later, before Christmas. I think Christmas was on Sunday, maybe last year, but I think it was a Thursday or Friday I started this. And I had no idea what I was doing with it. I was just doing it because, Pace, and I was doing it because I was trying to be like Pace and Abraham. And um, I started calling brokers for the multifamily challenge at that time. I had been in Mina's multifamily group for a little bit over a month. And, I I've been learning the whole time and making mistakes along the way, but I've been learning. And, comes through failures, like Pace was saying yesterday too. Um, some of your failures are your best teachers, your best learning. Without failure, you can't grow. Without taking action and failing, you can't grow. Without giving away what you're learning, which I'm giving away right now. Um, I don't know. Sometimes I doubt my value and what I'm giving away, but that's that limiting mindset. That's limiting beliefs. Those were instilled in you as a child by your school teachers, your parents, your coaches, your friends. You are a product. They say it's not environment, but you are a product of it. How you develop in life is by what you're inputting, the people around you. You're surrounded with people with limited mindsets. It's really going to be hard to grow. That's why you jump into a community like this. I have my friend Karma Sandra, Karma, I can never say his name right. Let me get it here for you. Karma Ladro Senga. I'm probably saying it wrong, but he's so eager to join Sub 2. He used my link with Alicia Tompkins, the head of enrollment, and he said nobody's called him yet. So I left Alicia a voicemail right now, and you know that's helping me. But only through this podcast and through my involvement in this community have I inspired my good friend Josh Grimmett to join Sub 2 and my friend Karma, because they see what it's done for me. They see what this community has done for my life and where it's taken me by being involved in this community and being active. I talked to what's his name, Dombrowski last night. We had a yesterday. We had a Calendly appointment, and he's a nurse. God bless him. Thank you for that. And I'm telling him last night, and he doesn't. He didn't have his Blink card, and he didn't have his social media. He's not using it, but he needs help in stuff with certain things. I mean, he's got a few deals working. He's really working his ass off being a nurse at the same time. But I was telling him, look, you got to rely on the community. You got to lean into it. You got to become more active. And I showed him, some things I've learned about the algorithms, along this social media journey. What you want to do is, especially in the private Facebook group for Sub 2, you want to be really active. You want to be a top contributor. You want to be a conversation starter. You want to encourage others. And what I do, I go the extra step. I put a heart on everything, whether you're a guy, woman, or sometimes people misconstrue that like, oh, he's putting hearts on all these girls. Well, they don't see that I'm also doing it to all the guys. Um, so you to get really a lot of activity, the heart gives you an extra point for the algorithm. And when you reply to people that comment on your posts on Facebook, this is Facebook and Instagram, you need to do at least 4 words. So like, thank you very much, or I'm so grateful, or thank you so much, my friend. Whatever you want to reply, kind of mix it up a little bit. Don't use the same thing over and over, because people will notice that too. But most people won't. But a lot of people, there's a couple nitpickers out there. Oh, you say that to everybody. Well, no, I'm just trying to encourage them, my fellow community members, believe in them, show them that somebody read their post and just didn't, look through it. Like, I'll go down, like when Pace makes a post or some other people. Um, yeah, I'm not flirting, Pansy. I'm not flirting. A couple of times I'm flirting, but um, it's been a long time. It's still been it's going on 8 years now that I haven't had a relationship. My ex, Tia, she overdosed last year when I thought we were gonna get back together. When I started on this journey, I told her I found the man that was gonna make all of our dreams come true, and we sat up for those 7 years that we were together, doing drugs and talking about getting out of that life and building a life. She wanted to be an interior designer. I wanted to develop stuff and build skyscrapers and do all these crazy dreams that we had, like going to Mars, you know. But she chose to you know overdose and lost her. But that was God. that was God's decision. She chose that, but he knew also at the time, and it was right after Mother's Day, um, that if me and her got back together, and he knew I would focus all my attention on her, and which I always did. Whatever Tia wanted, I gave her. And I wouldn't be where I'm at now. So he had to remove that distraction from my life. And, you know, that was her choice. I can't, I couldn't help it. But I tried. I tried to bring her with, and I thought she was ahead of me because we had lost touch in the pandemic for a couple years. Because she's Tia and I'm Larry, and that was just what happened. But yeah, so God's gonna pull certain people out of your life too, and put people in your path too are gonna encourage you and believe in you and help you and push you and move you forward, like this community does. Um, I still have distraction problems. I was talking about this other day. I don't talk about this very much, but due to the fact of being lonely and I was so much fatter, I'm still got about 90 pounds to lose here. Um, I'm trying to more focus on that too. And sorry to hear that, Carlos. Um, sorry. Yeah. God's children aren't for sale. I was abused by my mother. You know, beaten and stuff, and there was a lot of violence in my family. My father was an alcoholic. I'm not sure who beat who first, but yeah, I'm very sorry to hear that, Carlos. Thank you. God bless you, and God bless your family. Um, it's those moments right now that I when I don't think I'm making a difference, maybe I'm just making a little difference in some way, somebody's way they're thinking. Maybe they'll do something differently or something. I'm grateful. I'm grateful, like Pace said. An attitude of gratitude. I'm grateful that I'm here and I'm able to share my messages. And one of these days, I'm going to be able to do it without getting misty eyed. But I'm a big softy at heart. um, but everything that you want is on the other side of yes. You just got to say yes and do it and take action and be consistent. Be relentlessly consistent with your actions. And you have to be willing to fail and make mistakes, because sometimes when you're not willing to fail and make some mistakes, you don't take action because out of fear, or you have some people that's a limiting mindset. Thank you, Stacy. Thank you. Thank you, Pansy. Uh, I got two of my great friends there, and that's why I do this too. Right? Um, I need some attention, love, still. But we have a mission, and my mission is not to get distracted. And like I was saying, I still get distracted. I have those fake profiles message me. They look like they're real, and then I look at them like, man, there's no way this girl looks like a model wants to talk to me. She probably wants to do some kind of crypto scam and all this stuff. But sometimes I'm bored and by myself, and I don't have anybody to talk to, and I'll play around and message. Those are distractions, though. And like I said, I'm never gonna not tell you the truth in my life. Um, it was there's been some big distractions because I've there was some last year early on. Man, probably went had a couple hundred of those distractions, and I kept falling for them because I was still early in the journey. I hadn't built any relationships in the community, And it was just, I hadn't had a woman reach out to talk to me, and just it was because, like I said, me and Tia had been apart for 2 years during the pandemic, and then we were connected at church again, and then she goes and overdoses. I was lonely, and I was learning how to be a person again. And as I started losing weight and making the videos, and I started getting more confident about myself and feeling better about myself, of course, when you haven't had a relationship with a woman for 8 years, you're gonna be a little gullible, or a lot gullible in my case, and be distracted by those. And I'm still getting those distractions. I'm still, I don't try not to let that be a distraction, but I'm still sometimes, it's just me by myself at the end of the day. I know. But I'm impatient. I'm like, come on, God, hurry up. He knows I'm not ready yet, though, and she'll appear, just like Laura appeared for Pace. You know, the one will come into your life when God knows you're ready for it, and when somebody else needs it, like Asher. Like Asher needed a father, and Pace needed that too. And they tried for 6 years. He was saying, I didn't know that, that he was working so hard and too stressed out and being Pace that him and Laura couldn't have children. Thank you. And no trust, don't rush. Uh, there's just a lot of moments in overcoming all these things. Right now, what I need to overcome is, I need to be more focused and more intentional with my time and my goals. I'm really looking forward to Saturday and Sunday being off, and being on the phones and doing like a 10-hour session calling agents. Probably I might even do like 12 hours or 14 hours tomorrow and Sunday. Um, I still haven't found a good church, like one that I like to and that I can go to out here. Um, there's a lot of small churches. I really miss my church in Las Vegas. And then I'm being pulled by so many people at the event and the camp who are telling me, you need to come to Arizona. You should go to Arizona. So I'm like, man, maybe I should go to Arizona. Maybe I should. Um, it, I do like the beach though, but hurricane season's coming, or it is like right now. But the hurricane season's like really coming. And the last time I lived in Florida was 2004. I was in Ormond Beach, 1 mile north of Main Street in Daytona Beach. That's the main drag there. And if you ever been to Daytona for spring break, or you've been there for Bike Week, or been there for NASCAR, you know what Daytona and Main Street is, right? All the bars and stuff. Um, I was doing a lot of drugs back then. I was working for Olive Garden, on Beachside there, and living on Beachside. And there was a hurricane coming. The first one, it was Charlie, but it was swinging around through the Gulf and came through Tampa and went across in I-4, the freeway I-4, through Orlando, and then hit Daytona. Well, the guy is telling me I was trying to get my car out of there. I had a car and the brakes had went out when I was driving through the mountains in North Carolina. And I literally drove from Atlanta all the way down to Orlando, and then on I-4, and got up on the top of the intercoastal. There's a bridge that goes over the intercoastal there and goes to A1A, Atlantic Avenue. I'm up there sitting on the top there with no brakes. I drove all the way from Atlanta with no brakes. And I just threw over in the right hand lane, 55 miles an hour. I was going to throw it in park and lock up the transmission to stop. Um, and I drove down and made it, parked the car, but it was September. I think it was what's it? Memorial Day's first and Labor Day's. It was the Labor Day weekend. I tried getting the brakes fixed, and this hurricane's coming. People are starting to batten down, and it's Labor Day and that weekend, and trying to get out. I was trying to stay there because that was the last busy holiday, on the beach side there before wintertime. Um, and all the people taking their last vacation. Well, Charlie hit. I'm in my one of those hotels on the beach side, like a weekly rental hotel there, and boom, it tore the roof off. I had to grab my computer, my hard drive. I left the monitor out there. I had a backpack much like this one. It was like it had all my like important stuff in there. I had to dive in the bathroom, and I was too fat to even get in the tub. And the roof's coming off, and transformers are blowing up, green flashes of lightning, thunder, wind blowing like all hell, and I got stuck in there, right? And then when the eye of the hurricane passed over, a couple of Jamaican guys that were in the next room, they heard me screaming. They had to bust through the door and move some timbers and help me get out of there. But I was stuck in there for like 45 minutes right there, just like stuck, wedged in. Like I couldn't even walk because my leg was pinned. And that's when I got my first blood clot. And so I had to go to the hospital and get treated after the eye had passed over and the storm had passed. And then it was like, boom, another hurricane. Francis showed up. That was one of the slowest moving hurricanes in history. It was moving like 1 to 2 miles per hour. It was also one of the largest ones. It took 70 something hours, 72, 74 hours to pass over us. And I was stuck with these people downstairs in the half torn up building that we're living in, trying to play Scrabble with two other dope fiends doing drugs, and I had to purposely lose because we had no power. We ran out of beer, we ran out of drugs, and I'm stuck there with them. And thank you, and God, you ever play Scrabble with stupid people and then have to purposely lose just to keep that's the only game we had. Didn't even have cards. You don't have food. You don't have water. You don't have beer. You don't have any drugs. I was doing drugs at the time. That was brutal. Not only, I would rather had the hurricane take me out than have to sit there with him with another hour. And then there was Charlie, then Francis, and then came Ivan. Ivan had originally went up through Tallahassee, went through Georgia, and then it came back around and hit Daytona. So hurricane number 3, because it reformed into another tropical storm. It was hurricane originally, calmed down, then came back and reformed. Crazy. And at that time, I'm on the third hurricane. I'm standing on Daytona Beach. I'm drinking beer. I'm throwing it into the surf that's coming in. I'm like, really, God? Really? Hurricanes, buildings being destroyed. You can't just kill me with a simple heart attack, I mean, really, you got to take me out with these hurricanes. And then there was we got through that. And then there's Gene. Charlie, Francis, Gene, Ivan. Oh, and I forgot, in Charlie and Francis, there was a tornado in that exact same spot. People saw the water spout form off when somebody recorded it. It took the little chain link fence around the pool, whipped it out, spun it in the top, and put it in the pool. 4 hurricanes, 2 tornadoes in the exact same spot, 6 weeks. I lost everything I owned. My car that I had taken to the gas station for the guy to fix the brakes, and he said, wait, take your car. I'm not going to fix it. I got to evacuate out of here. The canopy from the gas pumps landed on my car. 4 hurricanes, 6 weeks, 2 tornadoes, lost everything I owned, and ended up 48 days in the Halifax Medical Center, which that's where I started my heroin. It wasn't heroin there, but they had me on Demerol for 48 days. And, well, they gave me some Percocets and some painkillers. And then years later, when the DEA cut everybody off from those, that's when I started my 7 years of heroin because of those hurricanes. Ironically, that was 2004. So 17 years of that. I mean, but it was 7 of heroin the last 7 years until 17 or 18 months ago. Now it's going to be 18 months here. That I found Pace Morby in a 1-minute Facebook ad, but that all started from that. So you just have to sometimes go through a lot of shit in life to get to the good moments. Like right now, this is the good moments, and then it's not even really. I mean, they're great. I'm loving it. Community camp. Being part of the Dealmaker Wealth Society with Abraham Gray, being part of Sub 2, Gator, and Mastering Multifamily with Vina Jetty. These my amazing mentors that we have here. I have 3 of the best, and of course Carl Allen, Chris Moore too. Developing relationships with outstanding human beings. Good people, and they're starting to rub off on me, and I'm starting to emulate and do things that they're doing, which is what Pace wants us to do. This is why he's doing that. The brand building, the personal growth, that's why we're part of the Own Your Future Challenge, and we're all in the VIP, and he's reimbursing us for that. These are all things that have culminated and led up to where I am here, sitting here today, telling you my story, hoping that somebody will be able to, listen to my story and do something different in their life. Maybe it's the mother or the father is on alcoholism, and they say, look what happened to this guy because of alcoholism and violence in the family. He spent 40 years in hell doing drugs and doing the wrong shit with people, and you know because I lost my father, thanks to me, 19, because he was an alcoholic and smoked 3 packs a day. Maybe somebody will change your life to change their children's life. That's why I want to do sober living. Like I met Jesse up in Kalispell, Jesse Steinford. He's doing it up here. I want to help battered women and single mothers. And now I want to rescue children because God's children are not for sale. So, with that being said, I got to go back to work, hit my W-2 right now. This is the long stretch. It's going to be 4 hours and 45 minutes. I don't get another break because I used up my 2 15-minute breaks and my 30-minute lunch to be consistent with this podcast because it's important to me. And I promised myself and I promised all of you. And I promised Pace. I said, I'm going to be consistent. I'm going to show up. I'm going to be on time. I haven't been on time. We're working on being a timely thing. But, that's where I'm at. So, happy Friday, everybody. Thank God it's Friday. Thank God that you got another day. Thank God that you got a chance to go rescue some children. So please click on that link in the description. I'll put it here in the YouTube. I'm going to get a notepad of all these links I'm sharing. And reach out to me if you want to join the greatest community on earth. Sub 2, I got a link for you. I'll get you in contact with the director of enrollment of Sub 2, Alicia Tompkins, who is my personal friend and buddy now. He's helping me, and I'll help you get into this amazing community. Whatever you need, I can get you a link for Gator. Vina Jetty's Mastering Multifamily is free to join. So if you want an invite to that group, I can invite you, be a friend on Facebook, send me a message, share my Blink card, whatever it is. But I'm here for you. And we're just getting really started, man. The ball's just starting to roll. It's been 18 months, sounds like a long time, but to me, it's a short time. Because I spent 53 years in hell. There was a lot of hell as a kid. There wasn't much good stuff. A lot of violence and stuff in the family. And, then father dying. And, so anyways, I love you guys. God bless you. Have a great day. It's 111, angel numbers. I do everything by angel numbers. So thank you, Jesus.